What's up? Can you guys hear me? How's everyone doing? Why does it have that? Here we go. What's up, Nick? How you doing, bud? G. Who else is here? Mary, what's up? Rudy, how you doing, bud? How's everyone doing? What's up, Janet? AK, what's up, bud? Sorry, I just got in like 10 minutes ago. Hold on. I look like a homeless person right now. Hold on. Damn. I'm doing good. Just got in. What's up, Brandon? Yo, Tone, what's up? Yeah. The Narrowsburg Inn Bar and Grill. It's in upstate New York, I believe, or Penn State. I think my uncle, it's like where my uncle lives near. I think. Did you like that? I'm trying to, I was trying to put it in there and get it out and use it. I have a longer version of just the drone from yesterday where you could see that burnt up building really cool. Just feels good getting out, starting to do stuff, man. Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing that Camden one, man. I didn't realize how hard I'm almost done with it, actually. I just didn't realize how hard it is. What kind you get, Tone? Did you get a cheap little one, or did you spend some money? What was it, a DJI? No, I can get you could be like 5,000 kilometers. No, meters. Yeah, 5,000. God damn it, I'm a retard. It goes far, a couple miles if I have good service. Maybe like 2 miles if I have service. That's what I have. I have a Mini 3 Pro. It's right here. I love how so I could park on Aramingo Ave, G, and fly it over Kensington and Allegheny. So however far that is. Uh-oh, what's that noise? Anyway, but look how small it is. That's what I love about it, man. It's this tiny, and it can go like 2 miles or like a mile and a half away, something like that. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, that's what it was. The thing came off. Yeah, I like this one because like see, I still don't know how to use it really. I'm an idiot. I don't use it enough. That's what I'm starting to do now, is just fly it as much as possible. And my problem is what I do that's wrong is I focus too hard, I overthink about getting like the good shots. And so I move the camera around too much. So when I get home, it's shaky footage. I got to remember to go and just like doing straight lines and then go back and then keep it in straight lines. Or I could do like this. This drone, I could like, draw, like if there's a building in front of me, I can just like draw the building on the, on this thing. Like I could just put a circle around the building and then hit the button and it'll like do a complete circle around whatever. That looks really cool. The problem is that's how I forgot this drone has, like it'll stop. It has sensors going forward and down. It doesn't have them going sideways. The new ones do. The Mini 4s do. The Mini 3 Pros don't. So that's how I hit the building in Philly. I was trying to do I had it focused on the American flag and I was just going to try and wrap around. And I thought it looked cool seeing like as you're going around pirouette, or I forget what the word is called. But looking at the skyline right there in the background, and my dumbass hit the side of the building with it. I just have to keep using it, keep doing it better. It's been like yesterday, was it okay? Or the other one, it was way too windy out. Or it says it's good up to 30-mile-an-hour winds. I just get a little nervous doing it. Fuck no, it didn't survive. That's this one here. That's the first one I hit. I found it, but this is all that's left of it. But I found the guard at one of the high-rise buildings went on the roof for me. I knew where it fell, and he went up and he got it. That's how I got the footage of it falling. I got lucky that way. I have another one, I think. I have another one. This one works too, but it's hooked up to another controller or something. So I have to unlock it or whatever. Then I can fly that one. Well, it depends, Nick. If I use this normal one, then it's only 249 grams, which means I can fly it anywhere pretty much without restriction because it's under 250 grams. But I use a heavier battery because this battery you get up for like almost 50 minutes, you'll be able to fly it for. So I put the heavier battery on it. It just makes it over 250 grams. I still fly it wherever I want. Is it warm? You know what? It was actually warm today. I thought it was going to be cold today. And I was like, I went out with long johns on and I started sweating. If it depends what size they are, Mary. If they get the bigger drones, yeah. It's the same way there. Yeah, DJI. That's how they make it. That this one on purpose for that. And the bigger ones, I was gonna buy one, but I'm glad I got this. The bigger ones are you can do a lot more with, but I don't even use this one a lot. So I'm glad. I just have to start using it more. I actually have been this last week or so. It feels good using it. I know a girl down there she posted on Facebook that it was like in the 40s the other day at night or something, or was gonna be. Yeah, I was impressed at how warm it was. When I got outside, I left the house kind of late. Um, I had to go help a friend over in Mania or Roxborough, which is on the other side of the city. But it was I had to take my long johns off. Out of the flight pass. Yeah, so there's certain places like near the Eagles Stadium, like right above it, they have these jammers in certain places. They're not everywhere. I think it's actually hard to have them. Like the FAA is involved in and all that, but um, with this one, I can. Well, it'll tell me I'm in a restricted zone or whatever, but I can like get out of X out of it and then go higher than it's you know to run on AI. The new DJI ones, China's, I mean, the DJI is already doing that, dude. DJI is so fucking far ahead of every other drone company. It's ridiculous. Like if you go look at some of the DJI's high end ones, man, they are crazy. That's all the Ukraine army's using right now. They're actually trying to ban the heavier ones right now. Um, Yeah, I actually the problem is it's the drone's sensor is small, so they're not really good at night. You can see the lights, but I don't think it'll look good. I might try it out though. Yeah, yeah, that's why I got the tiny one. Here it's like you have to take a written test or something. He's over here drinking right now. That's why I keep looking over. He's freaking chugs water like it's no one's business. That's good though, because most cats don't like water, right? It's weird how dead it's been. Someone just said it, and I walked right past the comment. I'm sorry. It's so dead down there right now, man. I was So I went and I helped my friend in Roxborough or City Line Ave, which is pretty much West Philly. Um, it's like complete other side of the city that I live, on. It's actually like my old neighborhood. Um, so I went over there and then I drove instead of doing the highway, I drove through the city and I drove through Kensington. Um, and I stopped. I saw my friend Cece, I talk about a lot. And I asked, I was like, is it dead down? I pulled over and we talked for a couple minutes. And actually, Rudy, I gave her a pair of, is Maureen in here? I gave her a pair of the yoga pants things that Maureen sent. And I gave her a hat. Rudy, I think you sent the hat. And then whoever sent the gloves, I sent them the gloves too. I gave her the gloves. Um, was that you? Okay, yeah, I met. Yeah, someone I saw. Someone just said it. It's so weird down there. But I asked my friend Cece. She's like, dude, it's crazy how dead it is. She's like either everyone's dead or everyone got housing or everyone's in jail or something. She's like, I just don't see anyone. Um, you know, it's just weird down there. You know, the normal lifespan of people isn't that long to begin with down there. I've been down there on and off for 2 years. It's yeah, you there are a couple on Ruth Street that they're in. You are right about that. There's a bunch of them stay up near off of Emerald Emerald Street too. Uh Out of the way. But yeah, man. It's like that my friend Cece, she was like upset about it. She's like, because she's been on and off down there for she's like 9 years. So she knows everyone down there, and it's hard. It's got to be hard. This people just disappear down there, and just it's a lot of times you never know the outcome of people down there, man. Yeah, I think that too. No, I had when I said I was homeless, what I always had was I had an apartment with my brother in Roxborough. He left. I was out of control, so he left, and then I just stopped paying rent. And then the as I was done paying rent, the owner stopped paying mortgages and all that, and he went on his own. So the house, they took the house from him, and then so it just went abandoned. So I was able to stay in that for like almost 3 years, I think. And then at the very end, some new guy bought it. And in Philadelphia, it's really hard to evict people, squatters, evict people from housing in Philadelphia. It takes a while, especially because I did live there. And it was like I had an address. I had, I think I had a gas bill in my name there and stuff. So it could be hard to evict someone in Philadelphia. And then, so the new owner was begging me to leave, begging me to leave. And then he caught me on like one Thursday, and it was, he offered me like $2,000 cash if I would leave and sign a paper saying I would never come back to the place. And I had no money. I was dope sick, and he offered me like $2,000 cash. I'm like, yeah. And I wound up it was gone in like 48 hours, 36 hours. I smoked it all in crack. And then I had nowhere to go. And then that's how I kind of got sober, was when I finally, when that guy kind of, in a way, saved me by forcing me out of that apartment, that place. Because I was in, what I'd do is I'd go at the top of the hill that I lived at was a psych ward and rehab. I'll tell you right now, I didn't have power. I did not have power. Sometimes, well, I always had water. They never shut the water off. What I had a little racket. There's a unit in the back. You can see him, huh? Oh, there he is, that fat fuck. I didn't have there are squatters' rights, absolutely, but I didn't have electric would get shut off all the time. But all I had to do was I would go to the psych ward all the time. I was really my mental health was really bad back at towards the end, and I did try and hurt myself a couple times. My neighbor saved my life. Angie, I talk about her all the time. So I'd go back and forth to the psych ward, and what I do is before I would leave, I would have the psych ward doctor call Pico, which is the electric provider in Philadelphia, and they would, by law, if the psych doctor calls Pico, they would have to turn it on for 30 or 60 days. And so I would get the electric turned on in like increments every like 60 days or every 90 days or something, I'd go to the psych ward and I'd stay there for a week. And well, dude, it's wild. Man, I used to go to that psych ward a lot. The cops in that neighborhood. I wish what's her name was here. She lives on the street where I used to. What's her name? Man, I was in Fairmount probably I'd probably say 70 times. I was 302'd and stuff into the psych ward in Fairmount. But the cops in my neighborhood would just most of the time, Marlene, yeah, that's her name. I'm sorry. Thank you. She lives the place she lives now is no, it's Marlene. Her house now is maybe 10 blocks up from, or I'm sorry, 10 houses up from my old house. Oh, dude, they knew my name there. Every nurse, it's embarrassing to think about now. But to be honest with you, that psych ward probably kept me alive almost for certain. For me to be able to sit here and talk to you guys now, I was a mess back then. I was a mess. They kept me alive, and they would see me twice a month, sometimes crazy amount of times, and they always treated me with respect. All the nurses were awesome there. I can't say enough, and a lot of people have had bad experiences there. Say the rehab's trash. I mean, they treated me like professionals the whole time there. Even like my 30th time there. In fact, the last time I went there, it was after I gave the money to that guy for my old apartment, and I had nowhere to go, and it was a real late snowstorm, and it was real wet, cold snow. So I went into the psych ward, and I had just left there like a month before, and the one nurse in the psych ward told me, she was like, "Can you please just try a bed in rehab this time, just one time?" I'm like, whatever. So I went over to rehab, and I'm still here today. No, there's still Fairmount, Horsham clinics up here, Friends Hospital on Roosevelt Boulevard. They closed the long-term ones. Now, when I went there, to be fair, it was 90% of the people there were just drug addict miscreants like me, like just lost in life. But most of us were addicts. But then the other 10% were like some serious, schizophrenic, serious people. And I used to get in fights in there because I knew they would give me benzos. If you act up in those places, they'll shoot you up with Ativan and stuff like that. So I would always, just do stupid shit. And after a while, they'd start sending me to the, I forget what the unit name was or number, but it was the one with all the serious mental health stuff. Because I would always act up, and it's sad in there because you'd be sitting there talking to people that think they're Jesus Christ, just lost in life, and talking to those people so much in there. I guess that's why I have a lot of empathy for the people on the streets I see that are suffering so bad with mental health, because it's a lot of overlap. I see it a lot. It's a lot of the in fact, one of the guys I see a lot, I see him down there a lot. I used to see him in Fairmount, and he doesn't even remember. I asked him one time if he remembered me, and he just looked at me like I was an alien. He had no idea. And I think I even was one of his roommate one time in Fairmount. He has no idea who I am. No, so it's funny. No, I never really messed around in Jersey ever, but I I started that stupid documentary thing or that little film on Howard Unruh, who's the first mass shooter, or they say he was, and it was happened in Trenton. Oh, excuse me. But he didn't go to jail. He went to that psych ward place in Trenton, and he lived there until he died in like 2005. So I went there to just take a video of the place. It does look haunted. It's old and creaky looking. It does look haunted. And in a teen, yeah. There's like three of them right in this area. I know for a fact. And then there's Norristown. There's four in this area. But the problem is you only get about 3 days in there. That's the problem. Is they only get like, well, you get as many days as the insurance, or at that time it was welfare, will pay for it. But as they're getting, because you have to see the doctor, like you see a doctor, nurse, like twice a day, and they have to like bill Medicaid or Medicare, Medicaid, whichever the poor one is, Medicaid. So it's I'll look. I'm sorry, Tara. I have not looked at emails. I've been isolating and just I'll look into them. I promise. But yeah, it's usually 72 hours is the first when the first hold thing is over. Like what I would do is a lot of times, the cops in my neighborhood would say, if you we're going to 302 you unless you sign yourself in voluntarily. And the minute I sign that voluntary thing saying, I think I'm going to hurt myself or whatever, then you're there for 72 hours. And after that 72 hours is done, well, you'll see the doctor during it. And during that time is really, they're just seeing if your insurance is going to cover it or not. And if you really want to hurt yourself. And if you have welfare insurance, they'll usually cover it. If you have private health insurance in America, good luck with that one. It's the one on the Boulevard is Friends Hospital. Unless there was another one. Byberry was a hospital on that, but I know Friends is the big one on the Boulevard. That's the one. So Friends and Fairmount are like sister hospitals. So you would go from one to the other sometimes. Yeah, listen, in America, there's a rehab in Friends too? Okay, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, yeah. Both of them are dual diagnosis, and they have the rehab and on the things. You're right. What's up, Shay? Uh, in here, it doesn't matter how delusional they are or you are. I am, as long as I don't or the person doesn't say they specifically want to hurt themselves or other people, then they'll go. So Byberry was the name of a different one? Okay. Friends is still there. Right. Byberry. You know what? Byberry Hospital does sound familiar. I would when I first moved here, I lived in Montgomery County in Lansdale. So they would always take me as the juvenile. I started going to fucking psych wards as a juvenile. God damn it. But that was in Norristown. Uh, that was a little psych ward and juvenile delinquent center in Norristown. That place used to give you fucking dirty underwear, like used kids' underwear. There'd be like a shit stain like that long. and the tighty whities they gave you to wear. Yuck. There he is. Look at that. Walk the streets up there. Yeah. Oh, those. Yeah. That man. Those. I've been in some pretty scary jails, but the juvenile detentions were always the worst, man. Kids don't give a shit. I was in the youth study center in Philadelphia, which for a skinny little white kid is one of the scariest uh, things that's ever gonna happen to you. That place is the kids just don't give a fuck. The youth study center in Philadelphia is terrifying. No, it'll well, it depends. Like if you keep telling them that you're not ready to get out, you still having feelings of hurting yourself. If you maybe try and hurt yourself in there, then they'll want to keep you, or they'll try and keep you, and they'll ask your insurance, Medicaid, whoever your insurance is, if they can keep you, stuff like that. Um, but on the voluntary one, yeah, it's 72 hours, and then like I could say, all right, I'm ready to leave, and as long as like I say I'm not going to do anything, then yeah, 72 hours is the it's called the 72-hour hold here in PA. That's what, like, when the nurses and stuff talk about it. Well, see, I don't even believe that. I think it takes longer than that, because I think it takes a couple days just to even sober up sometimes. And, I know when I've been going down there, go down. When I'm usually in there, I usually wait till I'm, or I go in higher than a, kite. So it takes a day or so to sober up and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I don't know where. I see people when I'm getting off the street road exit asking for change sometimes, but I think those people like park down the street and they do that for like a job. I know if at the Neshaminy, not the Neshaminy Mall, the Philadelphia Franklin Mills Mall, or whatever I don't even know what the new um, what's it called now? Not Franklin Mills. It's called whatever. It's Franklin fucking Mills Mall. There's homeless there behind. There's a couple of empty stores and stuff, like standalone restaurants that closed down, and there's homeless people sleeping around them. Philadelphia Mill, that's what it's called now. It's Franklin Mills, dude. That's so stupid. Philadelphia Mill. There's a whole big group of people that live behind where the post office is on. Is that Oxford? No, New Falls Road. I think it's New Falls Road that the where the I think there's a library and post office. New Falls, yeah. Back behind that, there's like a whole encampment back there. Oh, Franklin Mills, yeah, it's pretty empty. Someone else just bought it out, and they're talking about doing something else. But yeah, all malls are. I went into the Neshaminy Mall, which is right near up here in Ben Salem, and it was so dead in there. It just made me want to jump off a bridge more walking around there. It's just so sad. It was like a no, I'm going tomorrow. I went yesterday and I left the freaking key here. I'm sorry, Mayor. I promise you I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm sorry. Jesus of Jonesboro. Uh man. What's up, Ollie? Yeah, there's a lot, man. Uh Hey, Mary, Shay says hi. She says she still can't see you can't see her messages, but she says hi though. That is great, Jesus and Jonesboro. I would say that's about right. Maybe, yeah. I just don't know where they're all at now, but at its height, yeah. Which post office? Not at the one in Ben Salem, man. These Bucks County cops will drag them out by their fucking ankles and beat them to death. Yeah, it is. I went to North Penn. That was like, I don't forget how many, but that was a lot more than 1,500. But it was, yeah, it's considered big. What's up, homeless cribs? How you doing, dude? What's new with you? Oh, the one on New Falls? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Huh. Bucks County cops having some. You know what? I give them a hard time. But I've only had like one issue with them, and it was my own stupid fault. That I got pulled over here in Ben Salem, and the cop was the nicest person I've ever met in my life. I almost wanted to like go back and be like, "Listen, I'm sorry, I talk shit on you guys. I didn't, but I almost did." He was such a nice guy. Oh no, that's terrible. What's up, Rebecca? God. Yeah, well, right here, man, that's terrible, dude. I went to the Ben Salem one here not the other night, a couple months ago. I went there at like 3 in the morning and it was empty. Man, that's terrible. That's like right across the street from us, like right through that wall, right across the little, not 200 feet away. A guy was like 50 years old, and the trailer he lived in caught on fire, and he couldn't get out of the his room. He died. It had to take him out. Happened right here. Man, it sucks. Well, it's so you can get to your PO box 24/7. That's they're most of them are set up like that. That's the one of the good things of having the PO box is you can go there whenever you want. And they usually have a self-service machine where you can I honestly think they all the ones that have PO boxes have to have the 24/7 access to them. I'm almost positive that's like the federal law. So I was thinking about I kind of want to be down in Washington D.C. when Trump takes office. I want to video some of that, like the day. I think that'll be crazy down there. But I want to sleep in my car, but it's going to be cold. I want to do like a what they call what I forget what they call kind of camping, where you can. I have everything to shut the windows down. I have this generator thing, and I was thinking about bringing this little space heater, but I was like, it's electric though, so I don't think I'll die unless I set myself on fire. But I sleep so light, I'm not worried about that. I think they're going to be stealth camping. That's what it's called. Um, I don't. I think there's going to be more happiness. I know they're just angry in general, but their man is back in the White House. I think they're going to be. I think it's going to be a. Do you know how much money they are down there? Plus, those stealth camping videos they get a lot of views on the YouTube. So that's the reason I was thinking about doing it that way. I don't. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm sure there will be some. I don't know. He won like the fucking popular vote this time. He won the electoral college. He won all the swing states. Like, what are there to, I mean, they fucking won. You gotta just deal with it. Put up with it now, you know? I don't not put up with it. I mean, you're supposed to try and hold him accountable and protest when you can and all that stuff, but they won. If I catch on fire, it's not, it could be illegal, but it's also like just parking your car in places and just covering the windows in your car so people can't see you. You know, it's just camping. Some people do it. They say stealth camping. They'll just put like a tent up like uh behind a Walmart sign or something like that. Look it up on YouTube and they'll get they get a ton of views. Lost my virginity in a Red Roof Inn. Nice. I was down there today. I was down there just the other day. Yeah, a couple. I took a break and then I went back down there a couple times. I'm getting going, moving around again. But it's just so different down there, man. It's just, I don't know. It's just not the same place, man. Everyone I know I don't see anyone I know ever down there. Hey, 30 seconds, man. That's do the stealth camping. Yeah, I have seen that. I just watched some, there's a guy on YouTube from the UK who he calls it a tenner I forget what he calls a $20 bill or whatever, and he puts it in his pocket and he just goes walking as far as he can. I wish I could go over there. Hey, what are you gonna do? Above, wait, what tunnels we talk? Yeah, oh yeah. So I've done the drone above it. It's the art museum. That's like where I was walking around for that Kamala Harris thing down there, right on the art museum. That's where it goes underneath. It goes under there to Calla Street. I've been down there. Tenner is $10. I saw her the other day, and she was so out of it. I didn't even. I pulled over, and I just kind of looked at her for 20 seconds, and she just was just rocking back and forth, and I was like, man. So I just took off. Yeah, she's a mess. She's a real hot mess, man. Yeah. I didn't think she was going to be around this long, to be honest with you. Last time, I did not want to do that. Even that final interview I did with her, I was like, and she's like, I want people to see the progression, and I get it, and I appreciate her being okay with it. You know, but man, it's hard to watch. Yeah, that it's hard to do that in America, man. Like I just said, she'll go there and all she has to do is say she hasn't tried to hurt herself. She doesn't want to hurt herself. And then they'll release her. There really isn't a long-term hold here in PA for stuff like that. So he called me from Philadelphia jail the other day. I was when I go to the gym, I turn the my phone off, and I just listen to the music. So, but he called when he was in, when I was working. He called and he just, I saw it there. It said that, he was waiting for an inmate, in uh, inmate of Philadelphia Detention Center or whatever. That was like maybe uh, the beginning of last week. I called his aunt and I told her, and the last time I talked to him, he was like begging me to start a GoFundMe for him because he wanted to go to school. And I was like, Julian, you got to get sober first. Like, that's what I told him. I said, get sober first, and then we'll go to, I said, I'll do a GoFundMe and all that stuff. But after you're sober and you're proven you want to, you know, be out there. I said, there's no way I'm going to do a GoFundMe while you're still out there and hand you all types of money. I said, I'm just not going to do it. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping he gets stuck in there for a little bit. I might look on Live Link tomorrow. I got to call his aunt and get his full name and stuff again. So I'm going to look on Live Link, see how he's doing. He got mad. He was not mad. He got upset when I said I wouldn't do it until he gets better. I'm just like, bro, I said, I said, we're not, I said, he's still upset about that, the other channel, raising all that money and not telling him anything about it. And, if he wanted me, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Yeah, man, it's $44 a month. What the frick? It's crazy. She should, does she know she can use OBS Studios? It's a little trickier to figure out, but tell her to go on YouTube. OBS Studios is free. Oh wait, Ruth, what'd you say? Hold on, I missed you. Oh, okay. Damn, sorry to hear that. Did he just go back down recently again, or is he been down there? That's tough, Ruth. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jay. Yeah. Oh no. Sorry to hear about that. Speed daily. That's tough, man. Yeah, I was just thinking about him and her too, honestly, when I was over there in Roxborough or near Roxborough today. I was thinking about that. I want to go over there and do a video of Manioc. It's so nice over there. Over there, it won't get any views, but I still want to do it. Yeah, I know he wasn't doing good though. He was, and then he really wasn't, and he's been down there. Damn, it's so hard to get people to, it's something like 1% of homeless people, like chronically homeless after a certain period of time. It's only something like 1% of them successfully come off the street and like reintegrate back into society. 1%, man. Robert, he has a birthmark on his face. Okay. I don't know if I met anyone named Robert down there. Yeah, that's the tough part, hard part, Rebecca, is like, when they don't want the help. I don't know. It's tough. I didn't realize how tough it was on loved ones until I went and got sober. Then you see people you care about getting high, and you're like, just fucking stop it. But you're only gonna stop when you're ready. All right, take it easy, man. I hope the COPD is doing all good. I'm getting off in a second anyway. I got some leftover fireside G I'm gonna eat for dinner tonight. Got some jerk chicken, spicy one. I'm gonna eat that. And then I am gonna do everything in my I haven't seen the nibbles. There's what's up, Jennifer? How you doing? Yeah, I got it. I stopped and got it. I forget what day, but I have like the half of a jerk chicken and mac and cheese and stuff in there. I'm gonna eat that. So I haven't been going. It's been so cold. I haven't been smoking too much weed at night. So I feed the outdoor cats at like 5, and I just stay in there. Yeah, dude, I love that place, man. Everything I get is good there. I'm gonna get the chicken curry next time. Um, and then she made me try the pepper steak. Uh, that was good too. Yeah, Unit's just chilling right here. He's being all fat and ugly. Not ugly, but fat right there. No, they don't hibernate. No, but they do. I think they have kids like, or the females are pregnant over the winter time, and then they usually have the kids in like March, April, I believe. But I'm doing good, dude. Hopefully, I'll have this fucking Camden video done in a day or two. Maybe tomorrow I'll have it finished. But dude, I'm doing a whole video on the history of Camden, how bad it got, and why it got so bad there. And um, I just at the end of the video, I showed how downtown Camden's nice now, dude. I don't care what anyone says. Where like Rutgers is, and then down at the waterfall. Well, I moved the waterfront all down that. Was that Cooper Road or whatever it is? So Camden or Campbell's Soup. It used to be huge manufacturing. The New York Shipbuilding Company for like World War One. Around that, during those times, it was like the biggest company in the world. They did all like the warships and stuff. And then the phonogram VC Vic, RCA Vic, RCA Vic, RVC, RVC, RCA, RCA Vic, phonograms. But those things. But and then after World War II, they weren't allowed to build submarines or the nuclear submarines so close to Philadelphia. So they weren't allowed. And that's how that New York shipbuilding company left Camden. So in 10 years ago, it was the deadliest and poorest city in America. I think 2014 was the last one. It was, yeah, there was no way they were going to let it here right on the fucking, the East Coast, right? So close to the ocean and stuff. And right near Philly and New York, there's no way they were going to let nuclear subs be built there. Of course, they were going to build them somewhere over there. So wait, which one? The RCA Victor, yeah, phonogram. And then Camden was like a huge manufacturing hub, and then in the early 60s they built the Cherry Hill Mall, and then everyone with money just left Camden, and then all the poor people stayed at home. They all and then Camden, like that was huge, dude. There was at one point there was like 18 skyscraper buildings all owned by RCA Victor. Huge. There's 3 of them left right now down there. one of them's still vacant. There's a real tall skyscraper. Well, not, it's probably like 20 floors high. It's the last vacant building in downtown Camden, and they're turning it into apartments. And that one, and then the two right next to it, are the only three buildings left from RCA Victor down there. And there's only one original Campbell Soup building. That whole entire downtown area and the water, where you can see the overlook of overlook at Philly. It's all redone there, dude. It's yeah, absolutely, dude. It was huge, and like it you know, it really started to fall off right after World War II, but it was yeah, it was an industrial powerhouse. And during the Great Migration, a lot of the black people came up north from get away from Jim Crow South. A lot of them came up to Camden. There's even through the Depression, Camden was still able to employ most of its people, which is wild. MAN, I think it's spelled like, yeah, Manaaunk. Manayunk. That's how you spell it. Manayunk. It's I think it's an Algonquin language from the Lenape people, I believe. Manayunk is, man, that's, if you're young, or if you want to go get some, if you're in your 20s and you want to go see the hottest girls in the city, that's where you go, is Main Street on Manayunk, but it's going to cost you some money. It's awesome. Behind America Water Building, which I think I was down. Is that down near the waterfront, Mike? I think I was down there. Oh, absolutely. I'm saying down in the center, but yeah. So, and then at the end, after the video, I show all the nice parts in downtown Camden, and then I drive down to Broadway and show down that way too. Yeah, it's funny, dude, Nick. I specifically say that in the documentary I'm making, in the script, is I say, like, Gary, Indiana, Detroit, Flint, Michigan. I said, it's funny you bring that up, man. Yeah, no, you're right about that. Yeah, oh, I was, dude. I have it. I was. I'm putting it in the video I'm making. It's gorgeous down there. That's what I was just saying. Like, it is, it's beautiful, man. Um, gorgeous. Yeah. Oh, it definitely is. That's where the first place I start at, because it takes, like, I'm hoping it's not too boring, but like the whole history of Camden is like 10 minutes long. And then after that, I'm going to go drive, or I go around downtown. It's awesome down there, but it has a lot of, you'll see it. It's crazy because I do the drone flyovers there, and they are knocking down so many buildings, and there's so many empty lots in Camden, and Cooper Hospital is buying all of this shit down there. They're like turning Camden into a monopoly. That's another thing I talk about in it. Yeah, down there it definitely is. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I want to eat, and dude, they buy everything down there. Everything. It's going. It's gonna happen eventually, but I don't think they'll knock down the shit like they're doing in Camden. They just knock down Camden shit, and they're just rebuild. Like, they're just, yeah, it's crazy what they're doing there. Just wait. Gloucester City. There's a good Camden Jamaican place I used to stop going through there. I used to work in Mount something, whatever it is. All right, guys, it was good seeing you. I'll see you again this week. I'm going to definitely live stream again this week, so look out for that. All right. Now, you too, Nick.